Got you and I jumped into a game called, I'm calling it Neva. Everybody's calling it Neva. I think it's back and forth. It actually says Neva in the game, but everybody, well, it's from the same company or same studio that gave us Gris or Greet. Like nobody knows how to pronounce their own games. Like this is Nomada Studios' next title, and I'm telling you, this is an artistic masterpiece. What a vision. For me, dude, I'm coming in with a 9.5. I'm coming in hot. Where are you?
Absolutely, I match you there with a 9.5. This game is gorgeous, and that's just the first thing that hits your eye.
Absolutely. I loved every experience in this game. It has great pacing. Every time you get to a point where you're like, okay, I understand the mechanics, they introduce something new. The art direction, what a standout. Dude, like what a vision to carry that throughout the game. And not to let up on it either. There's moments I was stunned, just stunned visually. And then the world will pull back the camera so you can see more of it. And it sucks you back in. And then you get an emotional high right from the beginning of the game. And then you get some lows, and just the pacing of the entire thing hooked you right from the start all the way to the end. Dude, I can't recommend, what do you call it, Neva, enough. That's for sure. Where are you at?
Oh, I agree with you there. There's so many beautiful elements to this game that running down a quick little checklist of them doesn't really do it so much justice. You kind of have to experience this one with your own eyes and your own emotional open mind, perhaps. But there was one little takeaway that I have that's negative right at the beginning. I have to get that out of the way first. Is the frame rate in the opening cutscene. I feel like it's a nitpick. It's trying to do a very stylistic, almost stop motion appearance, but if it's not a claymation kind of look to it, so it kind of didn't jive together for me, and that was something that just immediately kind of hit me the wrong way.
For me, so yeah, I think it'd be divisive, right?
Yeah, it does keep up. It seems to kind of relax in the middle, but towards the end, I noticed it does still keep that frame rate. And well, there is a possibility it is just my local machine. That would be strange, however. This is a Series X. Yeah. But all that to say, there's so many beautiful elements in this game. The pacing you mentioned is just incredible the entire way through. It's balancing a kind of effortless emotion with actual real combat and some actual real challenge that we discovered partway through the way. So yeah, it's really fun to kind of master some of these combats as you move through the seasons of the game, and then it keeps introducing more. That pacing, like you mentioned, you get to the winter element, the winter season, and you start seeing a whole new, brand new, beautiful ways of combat, and platforming gets evolved as you go on through the game too. It's just, as soon as you settle thinking you understand the game, it just dials it up another notch, even all the way into the boss fights. So we discovered that some of these boss fights are a lot more challenging than others. Some of them were a matter of perspective, I think, but you get into some of these later on challenges, and you really do have to know the mechanics of the game. How wide is my dodge? How many frames can I really avoid of the enemy attack? And these are things that you don't realize you're computing at the time, because it's such an easy access kind of game. You get into it without really being, pushed out because of difficulty.
Scott, in a game like this, you're always worried about character design and the enemies themselves. Do we get repetitive enemies? And I felt, once again, it's all about the pacing, right? The minute we get used and comfortable to something else, then something else would pop and be a new, fresh feeling to me. I always felt like there was always something new around the corner, and it's one of those draws, like, just not only with the art style, but what is next? It just kept me hooked, man.
Oh, from season to season, everything just keeps progressing and getting better and better. And it's really just the sign of an authored, really tailored experience. It's very linear. But that linear progression really is the moral of the story, I think. What I take away from this game is that it's a simple story of life and death. It's the progression, the marching of time. As you move through these seasons, you're growing, you're aging, things are changing, and ultimately it's futile to resist. And it really leaves you with a strong emotional moral at the end.